Jack Psobeic, former naval intelligence researcher, great friend of mine, some of the best analysis out there, joins us to talk about the big picture 24 days out and what he sees the globalist up to. Obviously, a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, a month ago, he said they are accelerating towards massive crises creation. I personally, Jack, agree with you, but I'm also seeing them pull back some now. Even in Ukraine, they're now talking about a peace deal and things. It seems like we're being brought up to the edge, or the technocrats have got both scenarios moving forward. But if they know that their crises creation will be blamed on them, or a Trump assassination will be blamed on them, that they will then not do it, in my view. How do you quantify the moment we're in right now? And let's get into your latest findings on the attempted Trump assassinations.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for having me on. And of course, one thing that when we put the book together, Bulletproof, and we put together the report, and of course, we had our private investigators, and we've had our private investigators since I made the announcement with you and Tucker in Reading, Pennsylvania, where we held the first Bulletproof briefing of announcing that we do have the private investigation team that is up on the ground doing the shoe leather work in Butler, Pennsylvania, as well as Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, where the first Trump shooter, or perhaps the first unit of Trump shooters, the first team of Trump shooters, made their attempt in Butler on J13. Then we also got the information of this individual, Ryan Wesley Routh. And I've just released a new report on Ryan Routh up on my X account that people can go and look at, talking about the Bulletproof Project, because Alex, when you look at the convergence of events that are going on right now, it's very clear what we see, that people do expect massive unrest in the wake of the election. As we hurtle towards this election, it's very clear that unrest is in the cards. And I've heard from high level that there are operational orders going out, that there are warning orders going out, saying something might come predicated on the election. And specifically, I got this from a high-level source. I haven't even released this on X yet. I'll release it here for the first time, Alex, because we're talking about it. But a limited bulletin went out last night to various law enforcement offices around the country, where I'm just reading this, warning of potential election day and post-election day violence by, quote, those emotionally enthralled in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So this bullet is going out, Homeland Security, FBI, to law enforcement offices around the country. Well, what does that mean? The second Trump attempted assassin, Ryan Wesley Routh, was this individual that was directly tied, and we were able to track him down using AI face tracking and tie him directly to a recruitment and fundraising video for the Azov Battalion. The Azov Battalion is this neo-Nazi battalion assassination team that was trained up by the CIA in the years even before the first Donbass war, even before the current situation that's going on in Ukraine now. He is directly tied to them, went to Ukraine, received training, and then came back from Ukraine to the United States, to West Palm Beach, lied in wait outside of Mar-a-Lago, lied in wait outside of Trump International Golf Course, uses this SKS rifle with the serial number shaved off, this rifle that no one has any idea how this guy, as a felon, he was going to get. And I've released this report on him already, talking about the fact of the matter is, if Zelensky's up there talking ceasefire, if Donald Trump is up there looking like he's going to win in the polls, if J.D. Vance is up there with his command performance at the debate with Tim Walz, then you know who really stands to lose from a lot of this: the military-industrial complex, BlackRock, Monsanto, everybody who's trying to get in on Ukraine. The entire Ukraine operation stands in the balance of this. So you're talking potentially billions and trillions of dollars on the line. And the Azov Battalion and the foreign fighters with the blowback operations like a Ryan Wesley Routh would be the perfect patsies for this. So we've got this information, and I've got the book here in Bulletproof, and we've got Ryan Wesley Routh on the back of this, because I said hold the presses. We've got to get right there Ryan Wesley Routh. We're able to put him in the book because this information needs to get out. And when you purchase the book, when you pre-order it, which is available for right now, those proceeds actually go to continue the investigation. So this is something where we're just throwing the money into this, where we're throwing it on forward to say we need to continue this ongoing so we can do our reporting, boots on the ground. If we have to send people to Ukraine, we'll send people to Ukraine, because, Alex, this is a very dangerous moment for Donald Trump and both J.D. Vance, because as it looks like they are closer and closer to winning. Keep in mind, Matt Gaetz came on my program on Human Events just a couple of weeks ago, the 5 assassination teams that have been launched after President Trump. 3, he said 3 are foreign tied, 2 are domestic. So the 3 foreign, we believe that the first one of those that we know about was Ryan Wesley Routh, with his ties directly to Ukraine and to the foreign fighters. And what I'm hearing as well about Routh is that he's in there in his cell right now down in the Miami area. His trial date is set for November 14th. He's been talking about going on hunger strike, and he is completely just babbling and rambling to guards, to FBI agents, anyone who comes in about Ukraine, talking about, oh, we need to fight for Ukraine. Ukraine needs to win. So this has been the button, Alex. We know that Ukraine has been the globalist trigger word for so many of these things. That is why they are spreading this out now, that Azov Battalion more than likely has inspired or potentially even sent more Ryan Wesley Rouths back to the United States. And this wouldn't be the first time we've seen these type of blowback operations. Now, of course, Deep State wants to tell us it's Iran. But Lee Smith has the great report up there that you just showed, how essentially these are not Iran. They're finding, some Muslim teenagers or something, getting them to the United States, telling them, oh, you're going to come kill Trump, and then they arrest you because that's what they do. They entice you to come onto U.S. soil, by the way. There's something I knew when I was an intelligence officer, that what federal law enforcement does when they want to entrap you, if you're overseas, they then bring you somewhere that's U.S. soil and U.S. jurisdiction. So whether it's a U.S. territory like Guam or Puerto Rico, that would even count, or get you onto U.S. soil, then boom, they can arrest you, because that way they don't have to go through Interpol. They don't have to go through any of that chain of custody. You are already in U.S. jurisdiction. That's why they do these things. But they're doing it for a purpose, Alex, because look, and I'm just going to be very clear about this, and we talk about in the book, what if that bullet, and I just got back from the Butler rally there, the second Butler rally there this past weekend, what if that bullet had been 1 inch to the right? Well, if that bullet had been 1 inch to the right, we know that there would have been more than likely unrest all across the United States. And that unrest would then be put down by federal agents to a point where they would use that. They would use the unrest in the wake of a Trump assassination to create a January 6th style crackdown across the entire country. Now it wouldn't matter if you were just a Trump supporter who had gone to the January 6th rally. Now it would be if you were a Trump supporter, if you had a MAGA hat, if you had a Trump flag, if you were a conservative, if you liked Turning Point USA, if you liked Human Events, if you liked Alex Jones Show, if you watched InfoWars, etc. Now you're on a list. Now they're knocking at your door. Now they're potentially going to be confiscating your guns because, oh, you're someone who is involved with this domestic terrorist organization. Alex, that's exactly what they would have done. That's exactly what they would gear up for. And I do not put it past these people to potentially be looking at that in the cards as we go towards a Trump victory. So I know that he's doing all these events. J.D. Vance is doing all these events. I'm going to be at events with them in the next couple of days and weeks here. But we have to be steely-eyed when it comes to this, that both President Trump and J.D. Vance's lives are in danger, and then also to understand that the response to that, you would get this Hegelian synthesis. What they want is you to respond. They want you to respond because that will give them the enabling justification for a national crackdown and a complete criminalization on any support for Donald Trump.